the way I break up these videos is I first cover cold email outreach, then I cover search marketing, then I cover social media marketing. Let's cover where we are here. Now, because we're talking about the B2B side of your company, if you want to get stock with more distributors and retailers, which is really the only option you have here, search advertising is not going to work. There simply are not enough retailers and distributors searching on Google for the kinds of products that you stock. You need to approach them, or they will be approached by someone else, or they'll meet someone at a trade show, they'll meet someone at an exhibition. You're not going to get them through search advertising. There simply isn't the search volume. So anyone who wants to talk to you about SEO or search advertising, it's not going to work for you. That's nice. We can just cut out that whole piece. I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm going to set that to one side. So you've got direct outreach to distributors and retailers, and you've got LinkedIn advertising. And both of those things require you to be able to find out and segment and reach their retailers and distributors, and that can be very difficult. I've had experience doing this for other companies, not in the healthcare industry, but in other industries that are looking to get in touch with buyers at retailers. Distributors don't market their companies like a lot of other companies. So the only way to get to them is if you actually have the name of their company. So there are data brokers out there for specific industries. What I would suggest is you find the names of all of their companies. Okay, so all the distributors in your relevant niche, there's probably loads of trade shows or exhibitions that go on, and you can probably just hoover up all of and start building your own database, either manually over time or buy from the conference organizer, if you can, the list of all the people that were there. Okay, all the different companies or distributors, whatever, that were there. Some conferences let you do this. Otherwise, there are data brokers that they sell the information to, and those data brokers hold that information. So you're going to have to search around the internet for healthcare distributors, healthcare retailers list UK, something like that. And there will be a data broker out there that might be able to get you at least the names of the companies. What you then do is you want to upload those list of companies into LinkedIn, and that's going to give you everyone that works at those companies. And then you're going to want to segment that list further on LinkedIn Sales Navigator to see how big your audience is. So you might only want to talk to the founders, you might only want to talk to the head buyer, whatever their job title might be. You need a full list of the kind of job titles that would talk to you, and you need that full list of the distributors that you know for sure are distributors. You put those into LinkedIn, into a LinkedIn search, and you're going to be left with however many thousand people that meet that criteria are. So at this point, you can then start advertising to that audience. And that's pretty great. You can start advertising to that audience. You can also advertise on LinkedIn using groups. So there may be very specific groups within LinkedIn that only discuss, there might be a medical devices group, there might be a medical products group, and anyone who is a member of that group, you can actually target. And you'll be surprised when you do your research on groups, how many different types of groups there are. So you can make sure you're constantly sending adverts to them within their LinkedIn feeds about your products or services. And what you would have is what's called a lead form advertisement in LinkedIn, which is a type of advert that has maybe a catalog of your products, something like that, and they can download them in exchange for a phone number and an email, which LinkedIn automatically gives you. This is a very powerful type of ad on LinkedIn called a LinkedIn lead form advertisement. Okay? And you want this LinkedIn ad obviously to go out to only the relevant people. Because it's so tough to see who a distributor is, you either need to have a list of those distributors which you upload into LinkedIn, or you have to use groups. That's the only real way you can get there. If you just try and target by industry and job title in LinkedIn, obviously if you put in healthcare as the industry, it's not going to be a good solution. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of matches. Very few of those companies will actually be distributors or even retailers. Okay, so that's just a problem with the way that LinkedIn doesn't have enough. It can't segment as much as that. It's it's the most powerful business database in the world by far, LinkedIn, but it's not as powerful as that, unfortunately. And it's very bad when it comes to distinguishing by the type of company. Is it a reseller? Is it a distributor? They don't do that. Okay, so it's going to get lost in the sea of all the other actual companies that are producing the primary product or primary service. So it's going to be very tough for you to find them there unless you have the list. So your first port of call should be to find a reliable data broker and start building your own database of who all the distributors are. You need the name, you need the email of all the contacts you can get. If you can only just get names, that's fine. Of the companies, you could still use that. Maybe you can scrape them off a website. Maybe there's an industry body within your sector where all those names are kept, like licensed, resellers, whatever it is. You need to have a strategy for first gathering that data. Until you have that data, no other marketing is going to be good for you. Now, providing you can get it and you can get email addresses for those people, you can then send them cold emails. Providing you can find them on LinkedIn, you can send them LinkedIn messages at scale. So the two ways you can do that are either through cold email marketing, which I mentioned. For that, you need an email address, probably from the same broker that you get it from. Otherwise, even if you don't have an email address, you can still extract email addresses, business email addresses outside of LinkedIn if you know how to use the right tools. Please contact me if you found a list of people on LinkedIn that are right for you. Okay, you've built the list, but you don't have their email addresses and you want them, get in touch with me. I can get all their email addresses. Okay, it's not something that I would try and learn yourself. There's a lot of complicated tools in it. And getting it wrong is way worse. The other thing you could do is use a LinkedIn bot. Now, I have prepared a masterclass on how to set up a LinkedIn bot. Basically, it's an automated piece of software that controls your personal LinkedIn account, and it will just start at the list of search results of your ideal prospects and targets, and it will just go down the list, connecting with each one, and then messaging each one. Do you want to take a look at my catalog? Do you want to have a discussion? I'm going to be at this trade show. Shall we meet at my booth? Whatever it is, you can just send as many messages as you want directly in LinkedIn, and you can send them as many times as you want because you're a first degree connection. And so the LinkedIn bot automates all of that activity while you sleep. So if that sounds good, I'm going to leave a link in the description to this video, or there'll be a link somewhere that pops up on the screen, and it will take you to a LinkedIn bot masterclass. And there you can learn not only what the best LinkedIn bot software is, but also the system you need if you're going to have any chance of doing this at scale. You can get 10 to 20 to 30 leads per month for new business partners. Great, so I hope that makes sense. I hope that was a great, I've tried to keep this as short as possible so you don't nod off. A lot of ground covered. My full recap is, if you're looking for the pure B2B play, search and SEO, forget about them. Otherwise, if you're just looking for, partners and distributors and resellers and all this, you need to be either on direct outreach if you get their email address by email, or you're going to want to be advertising them on LinkedIn, or direct outreach also on LinkedIn. And the key to this is the data. Can you find the targeted enough data that actually represents your customers, all right? And so by all means, I would say I would be pouring, if I were you, all my attention into finding a fantastic list broker who can supply you with this kind of information. And then I would be looking, after that, step 2 is, okay, what do I do with this data? Yes, I'm going to email them if I have the emails. If I don't, I need to think about how I can get their emails, or how I can put them into something like LinkedIn and then find everyone who works there and then send them adverts on LinkedIn that get them on the phone with me. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Hope that gives you some idea of what you should be doing. All right, take care and see you next time. Bye. Hey there, brainy marketers. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you found it useful, do us a favor and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video on all of your social media channels. So go ahead and do all those things, and we'll see you for the next video. Cheers.